This graph shows what happens to your personal credit score the moment a large business balance posts. Even if you deploy capital using a 0% APR promotional offer, your personal utilization spikes. That damages your FICO score instantly, long before a single dime of interest is ever charged. This is the personal exposure problem. The damage compounds further. Card minimums and line balances count directly against your personal borrowing power. It tips your debt-to-income ratio into the red, killing your capacity to qualify for Tier 1 assets like commercial mortgages, portfolio refinances, or ADU construction loans. To solve this, you need to build a completely separate corporate borrowing profile. You must establish an infrastructure that passes automated bank underwriting without touching your personal file, allowing you to secure and deploy 0% APR growth capital. This is institutional leverage. Before we build this system, understand our strict operational boundaries. This curriculum teaches separation, not concealment. We rely on accurate documentation, never altered records. This is education, not financial advice, and you must independently cross-verify all institutional rules. Concentrating your entire financial strategy onto a single personal profile creates a hard algorithmic cap. This concentration of personal liability is the actual bottleneck to scaling, remaining a barrier even when you have sufficient verified income. To pass automated commercial underwriting, your business must stand on 4 exact pillars. This is the baseline infrastructure required to create a corporate borrower that institutions trust. Pillar 1 is entity structuring. Underwriting algorithms scan state records, your EIN registration, and banking databases. If your business address or commercial phone line has even a microscopic spelling discrepancy across these public records, you fall into the mismatch trap, triggering an immediate, silent rejection. Pause this video right now. Pull your LLC state registration, your IRS EIN letter, and your business bank statements. Read them side by side and audit the data to guarantee every character matches exactly. Pillar 2 is NAICS and SIC code optimization. If your industry classification falls into a high-risk category, banking algorithms will hit you with restrictive caps or rejections, regardless of your actual cash flow. Pillar 3 is establishing your commercial bureau anchor. You start by securing your DUNS number. From there, you build clean reporting files with Experian Business and Equifax Business using a tiered sequence of vendor trait lines. Pillar 4 is your banking footprint. You must open a true commercial checking account with a Tier 1 institution. Your internal relationship score with that specific bank dictates your unsecured limit sizes far more than any external credit score. By executing these 4 pillars, the issuer always knows exactly who is liable, but your business activity lives strictly on corporate infrastructure. This ensures your personal profile remains entirely clean for your private acquisitions. This diagram illustrates what happens when you act on the impulse to raid credit lines. Lumping multiple applications into a tight window stacks fresh inquiries and brand new accounts onto your file simultaneously. Automated underwriting interprets this exact velocity pattern as severe overleverage. The institutional approach requires a 12-month roadmap. You use a deliberate, paced sequence to strategically manage credit inquiries across different bureaus, letting new accounts post, age, and report before you make your next ask provides seasoning. This aging process is the precise mechanism that turns a thin file into a thick, high-limit borrowing profile. You can use rate shopping windows, such as FICO's deduplication feature, to compare offers for a single loan purpose without compounding inquiry damage. However, you cannot use this legitimate tool to disguise simultaneous, desperate asks for capital. Patience is a strict mathematical requirement. A sequenced roadmap builds a permanent compounding funding engine. A simultaneous raid burns your capacity down in a single month. Once you have unsecured credit, you move to deployment. You use secure B2B payment routing networks to pay vendors or contractors via ACH or check. This defers the cost of real business expenses while giving the underlying asset time to perform. This equation calculates your net arbitrage spread. 0% capital is not entirely free. You take your annual asset yield and subtract the flat B2B transaction fee. If that net spread is positive, the deployment makes mathematical sense. You must operate within non-negotiable guardrails. The first is the reserve floor. Never deploy your operating accounts down to $0. You must hold a minimum cash cushion to service your standard monthly obligations in case asset distributions are delayed. This table shows the second guardrail, the deployed capital matrix. Focus on the predefined payoff exit and the 0% promo expires columns. You must document an ironclad payoff strategy before the introductory window expires, not after. To pressure test this matrix, you run your baseline inputs through 3 live stress scenarios. Model what happens if your asset underperforms by 30%. Model a strict 90-day revenue freeze. And finally, map a secondary exit strategy in case your 0% promo expires early or a planned takeout refinance is delayed. Take your actual projected funding draw and test it against these parameters. You need to prove that your corporate cash reserve floor is large enough to sustain a freeze without breaching your personal capital. Professional leverage is about engineering downside protection. Once you complete your Module 1 audit and the pressure test workshop, upload your screenshot to the school community section to unlock the next tier of advanced modules. As always, this is education, not advice, and there are no guaranteed outcomes. I'll see you in the next module.